Hi guys, it's Alicia Rose here, and today we're going to do something really awesome and wonderful. We are doing a wheel spin challenge. Now, it's not like a Sims wheel spin challenge, which I actually got the idea from, but instead I decided to make it more writing focused. So I have a whole bunch of one-word prompts on my screen here, and I'm going to spin a wheel, and whatever one we come up with, we are gonna have to write about it for 10 minutes. So this can be any storyline, basically anything that has to do with that one word. So here's the wheel here, and let's spin it. Okay, give me something good. Give me something good. Okay, so the word is bliss. So I have 10 minutes to write about bliss. I'm not sure what I'm going to write about, but let's find out and see. Okay, we're back. I just wrote for 10 minutes about the topic bliss. I thought it was really interesting. I didn't really know exactly what I was going to write about, so when the 10 minutes started, I sort of freaked out a bit. But then I started to do a brainstorm. Now, brainstorming is really awesome when you're writing in a hurry. You can write down as many ideas as possible and just come up with the best one. So the first one I thought of was this, based on a play called The Chocolate Affair. And I was like, oh, well, chocolate is bliss. That's usually what I think of when I think of bliss. But let's change it around a little bit. But I ended up not really liking that. So I just didn't stick with it. So I decided to come up with another idea, and I ended up using that idea. So when you brainstorm, you don't always have to come up with a bazillion things. I only did 2 and it was perfectly fine. So I ended up going with the second one, which I liked so much better. It's a coma patient, and you know how there are ideas that coma patients, they don't really, they can hear what goes on outside them, but they're in their own little bliss. That's what I was thinking about, so I just went along with that, and I started writing immediately. The first thing I wanted to do when I started writing was to be able to talk about what this person's bliss was. And I ended up naming the main character Lucy, or was it Lucy? I cannot remember for a second what the character's name is. Is it Lucy? Is it Lucy? Okay, I don't actually know whether it's Lucy or not. I'm looking at my screen right now as I'm going through it, and I don't actually know whether it's Lucy or not. Okay, so the reason why I came up with Lucy is because the day before I was talking with my friend about the dog Tucker on YouTube, and I used the owner's name because it was the first one that came into my head. So that's basically what I did. I didn't really come up with the character, although it would have been really great to learn more about the character and who she is and why she came to be in a coma. But I guess that's the fun part of having her not know why she is in the coma in the first place, is because we don't know. So I first wanted to talk about the garden, what the garden looks like, how it's her bliss. I made her a gardener, so it made sense for her to be in a garden. And plus I think a garden is a really great place to have bliss. When you're in I just feel like gardens are really great places to be blissful in. So I wanted to talk about that. And then I knew that you needed to start off with conflict pretty soon when you're starting a short story. Usually you start, with short stories, you need to start as soon as possible. You take the story that you have in your mind, and you have to zoom it in to where the conflict starts. So you need to cut out as much of the beginning as possible without losing too much. So I decided that the next thing that I would do is have a voice just enter into the picture. Usually you don't want to have a voice enter into the picture, but I thought it would be pretty good to just have a voice, because I needed some sort of conflict. I needed to, at this point in time, I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna need a conflict. I'm gonna need to have her realize she's in a coma. How am I gonna do that? And like I said in the beginning, I thought, wow, you know how some coma patients can like hear people? That's what I was thinking about. So this voice is coming from a loved one sitting by her bedside saying, please come back to me. So that's sort of what I decided to do in that sense. So it's, you know, it was really interesting writing this because I was freaking out so much, because 10 minutes is not a lot of time. And I was around like 7 minutes at this point. And while I would never do that again, I think if I did like a 10-minute writing challenge, I would at least give myself some time to like actually write out some sort of plot. Maybe it wouldn't make it as much more like more fun, but it would still like make me feel better, because I would actually get to go through and create a character and create a plot. But I guess that's not the point of a 10-minute challenge. It's not the point of you have to be thrown into it. You have to be freaking out while you're doing it. So that's just what I would have preferred to do it, because I realized I made a lot of mistakes. Like, the voice is actually male. I didn't say that in the beginning. I didn't say that the voice wasn't male, but towards the end I actually put like, this is a male voice. FYI, in more literary terms. Just, it's a male. But I didn't put that in the beginning, and it's really important to have that specification, because a reader might look at that and think, okay, it's a voice. What type of voice is it? We don't know. So they could have assumed that it would be a woman. They could have assumed it could be an old grandmother. Like, you don't really know, and so it makes it a lot harder for the reader. And so if I went back and edited it, I probably would have gone back and changed the voice to be a little bit more specific. But I didn't edit this because it was only a 10-minute challenge. I couldn't have edited it. But I still like it. I like the story in a whole. I think it would be interesting to have more of her in the garden, and maybe have her being more confused. So like, have her in the garden for maybe like a page, and then she starts hearing the voices. Like what goes through her mind when she first hears about the voices, because it's obvious that she has been hearing the voices for a while now. Like, it would be fun to look at how this has changed her. But I only had 10 minutes, or is it 20? Oh, I gave myself 20. Oh wow, I've been saying 10 this whole entire time. I'm an idiot. Okay, well, I had 20 minutes. If I had 10 minutes, oh my goodness, it would be a paragraph. Oh, did I really only have 20 minutes? Okay, this is crazy. I literally thought I had 10 minutes. Okay, now I do have to preference that me looking at me writing, I can't actually see what I'm writing. This basically is going to crap. But it's okay. Oh, why did they say wake up? I also thought like how like, you can't just have this voice. Like, that's not gonna tell her that she's a coma patient. So I really had to like change it around and have them like have the voice say like, please come back to me, please wake up. And she's like, what do you mean wake up? And it suddenly clicks with her that she's a coma patient. And this is when I was really running out of time. I think I only had like 7 minutes left. So I really was trying to like put the loose ends together. And I make her freak out for a very short time. I wish I could have like made that bigger, but then again, I just didn't have time. And I also was thinking to myself, okay, how is she gonna get out of this garden? How is she gonna get out of her bliss? Because her bliss was this garden. It was feeling peaceful. And then once she realized that it wasn't real, the bliss became her nightmare. which I thought was interesting to play with. But I thought, how is she gonna get out of this garden? So I tried to like, I would have had her search a lot more for an exit. Didn't have time. So I'm just like, oh, here's a conveniently placed gate that she's never been through. It's crazy when you're writing for a short amount of time, just how much you're like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go off of the first thing that came into my head. Like, what if a dog came into the picture? Like, I know a dog wouldn't come into the picture, but what if it did? I think it would have been pretty funny. Just have a random dog come through and be like, hi, you're in a coma. Is this even good? Wow. Yeah, so at this point in time, I didn't have that many minutes left. I think I had like 3. So I was trying to like finish it up really fast. Could it be that easy to just walk through a gate? Probably. But, like I said before, I had a really fun time writing this. It's definitely something that I haven't thought about writing, but it was something that I ended up really enjoying, and I'm not sure if I would do 20 minutes. That's the thing. Because can you write something really good in 20 minutes? That is the question. But I mean, it's a first draft. First drafts are meant to just be first drafts. And it's not supposed to be good. It's just supposed to have an idea on the page, which I succeeded at. So maybe I succeeded in writing this. Who knows? Yeah. So at the end of this, you can see I went back and started like reading each line. I had like 30 seconds left, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go through and correct some things while I'm at it, because as you can probably tell, I cannot spell to save my life. There was also one part that I had italicized, and I know I had that italicized because I wanted it to stand out, but I'm not sure whether I would keep that in a second draft. But anyways, this is me at the end. I'm going to have a link to this story down in my description below, but if you really liked this video, please click the like button. Consider subscribing if you want to see more videos like this, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much. Bye!